The earliest memory of alcohol I have when I was 7, I was at a party and everyone was having fun and all my relatives were there. They thought it would be a fun idea just for me to try a drink, and they offered me half a glass, and I ended up drinking 4 or 5 drinks, and I was dancing all throughout the night. And the next morning, I woke up, I puked, and my mother saying, "This is what is going to happen to you if you drink alcohol." I just knew then that I could consume more alcohol than most people around, and I thought it gave me an edge where I could walk into a party and I could outdrink kids who were 10 years younger to me, 11 years younger to me, but I could just outdo them. I could do a bottle in 10 minutes just for the kick, and it would just not make me drunk, but just a happy drunk. By the time I was 19, the happiness slowly faded away, and it became dependency at the level where for every mood, every thought, for me to move from A to B or B to C, I would need a drink. Things happened. I got educated. I went abroad to study. I got married. I had 2 lovely children. But alcohol was the primary focus. Everything was centered around when I'm going to have my alcohol. By the time I was 32, that was the first time I was hospitalized because of an issue. I was advised not to drink. So I was prescribed medication, which made it worse. And I went back to alcohol with the medication. The medication again stopped, but the alcohol kept on. I had a very, very serious case of tuberculosis where I was in quarantine for about 46 days. I could not see my children, I could not see my wife, but somehow that thing had entered me that I need to stop it. So I tried on my own without any help, but I could manage about 4 months. The alcohol reared its head as soon as I felt that no, I think I can handle it again now, or my body can handle it. So it started. But my journey of fighting it, but without getting out of it, continued. In 2012, when I reached Anatta, I felt numb. I could not, uh, I could not think beyond drinking and just being. I had absolutely numbed myself from any pain, any emotion. The alcohol had just made me flat out dead against anything what was happening around me. From there, I would say, was it spirituality or was it realization on my part? Was it just the counseling or was it just the affection or understanding? It was all those, but it was more. I realized I had not lived a life. From the age of 16, 17 to 42, I had not lived my life. Alcohol had lived my life. Now, right now, I can feel my words. I can feel my own voice. I can feel my own face. But for 25 years, it was all about living in my own head. Just craving, 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 and craving. And the quantity just kept increasing to a level where it was absolutely unbelievable for a regular person to consume that much of alcohol. I keep wondering about how I never poisoned myself with it, or how I didn't end up getting into a fatal accident because of it, or how my loved ones are still around me. People talk about miracles, but sobriety is a miracle for you to experience if you get there. And the last 6 years have been a journey of discovery of from food, from children, from work, from passion, from success, to respect, to being written off, to being considered the person. It has been a fabulous journey, and it has happened because of anatta, not because they wanted me around, because I decided I just want to stick around. Because somehow alcohol suddenly got replaced by that entire gist of how to get better. And I could transfer it on, or I tried to transfer it on to whoever I could meet. Is it a thought or is it an emotion? I somehow feel I never had a chance to be anything else. Or I never thought that I had to experience, which I thought earlier it was a curse. But the same curse can give you a boon. But that curse and boon is from your own head. You have cursed yourself by demanding alcohol because you think it's the only thing which can make you work. But yes, you can give yourself the same boon by deciding that no matter what happens, I would not like to have a drink. I would want to live. It's a matter of life and death. At the point where I could not walk straight or otherwise, there was a point where I could not go to the bathroom without holding onto a door. I have literally crawled on the bathroom floor to get to the bottle behind the toilet where I had hidden the bottle. I have hidden bottles inside my underwear just so that I can watch a movie with alcohol without feeling that I would have watched a movie. I would get very, very uncomfortable in any kind of skin just to talk to people. For a business meet, I would drink first and then talk later. For if I had a girlfriend and I had to go out, I would fill myself with alcohol and then go and meet the girlfriends. It was the helplessness, the pain of not being able to move that alcohol. Even at the point when my mother passed away very suddenly, her last words were, "Ketan, please come out, at least see us. I poured you your beer." Still, I could not come out, and those were her last words, and I never saw her later. But the first instinct when she was taken to a hospital was just get so drunk that I want to numb this so that my brain works to do whatever I have to do. My father, as helpless as he was, he kept watching me fall one day at a time, every day, into a hellhole for many amount of years. Eventually, when I did get sober, he was at a point whether I wonder, but how much realization he had that when he passed away in my arms, I was sober. I hope he does. Many people tried to get that point across to me that you are perfect the way you are, except the alcohol part. I was living in England. One of my hostel wardens, he told me that, why don't you try and come with me? He was in recovery from alcohol. So I had gone for this meeting, and plus I had a lot of people who were in recovery in my family. So I had an idea of Alcoholics Anonymous. When I first attended that meeting, again in a drunk state, because I had gone to a pub before that, I realized I had a problem. Somehow it just never came about that I accepted it totally, or I tried to do much later something about it. I just thought I could just get away with it. Because, okay, I mean, there were so many writers, there were so many design people, there were so many artists who could drink all their lives. And drink the way I was drinking and still create pieces of art and still work and still do it. But much later I realized that how bad the life must have been living with that alcohol much later in life. It just ate away my body, ate away whatever love I had for myself and for other people. But first time, the first month in Anatta, I remember, we were all meditating, and suddenly I felt a big pang, and I came out and I asked Dr. Nair, or I rather I told her that now I realize that what my father-in-law felt like about me, that his daughter is married to a drunk like me. And I realized that what I would feel about my daughter if her husband was drunk. And ever since then, there have been series of realizations at almost a random go, while talking to someone, while talking to my counselors at Anatta, or sharing with the new patients. It has been a world for me to discover that 25 years of alcohol and 6 years of sobriety, what I've learned in 6 years about myself and the world is way beyond what I've learned in the last 25 years before that. So, and it's painful. I mean, primarily the alcohol abuse is painful on you, and it numbs the pain also. So you fail to realize where you're looking, what you're doing. You think everything is fine. Once you've had your alcohol, everything is fine, everything is sitting, everyone is sitting. You don't bother about the fact that what other people around you are going through. Today, sitting in a theater, when I have a person who has had some alcohol sitting beside me, it becomes very uncomfortable to sit beside him. Then I realize what I must have felt, it must have felt like accompanying me to the theater, or me sitting in a theater and people sitting around me. I have missed flights, international flights. I have fell down on the tarmac. I have fell down on roads. I have sat in the middle of the road on expressways in Germany after drinking, just for the kick of it. And when I look back, like, what was I thinking? But that's what alcohol does to you. That's what pushes you to do things which you think are not possible and which are actually not possible, but you try and do those things. It's like jumping naked from on top of the building thinking you're not going to die. But I realize jumping naked anyway possibly within a feet itself is wrong or hurtful, and it is more hurtful for other people to see that. But That one little leap of faith when you take. I have tried many things. Why not I just try and just give sobriety a chance? And from the time of thinking that I'm going to die, I would have probably died very early because of my health reasons if I would have continued drinking. But I have lived and I'm living, and I would like to be sober again tomorrow morning.